Baldwin. He's a law student here. He says he's leaning right now toward Governor Bush. Jacob?
Governor Kasich, my grandfather was a World War II veteran, went to college on the GI Bill, and then opened a small business in Hartsville, South Carolina. It's a small town about an hour away from here. My mom runs that business now. We've been open for 65 years. I want to know, if you are elected, what you will do to bring industry to small towns so that small businesses, like my mom's, will stay in business, and so that small towns like Hartsville will continue to not only survive, but to thrive and to grow.
Yeah. Well, I would say, first of all, we got to get the overall economy growing. And I want to go back one more time. If you have too many regulations, you will choke small business. They are the engine of job creation in America. That's why it's important to bring the rates down for individual taxes, because most of those small businesses pay the individual rate. Give them the incentive on taxes. Go through, the vice presidents usually spend their time going to funerals. I would like my vice president to spend his or her time trying to bring some rationality to all the rules and regulations and force the Congress to vote on anything 100 million and above, and just stop all this flurry of regulation. And then, of course, if we can get a fiscal plan that gets us close to a balanced budget, which I've done before, you're going to see the economy take off. Now, so the small businesses or the small towns, look, what we've done in Ohio is, and I knew this before being in business for 10 years, you've got to look at the assets that you have. What makes you unique in Hartsville? What are the things that you can do there that maybe you can't do anywhere else? And that's what you have to focus on. See, I privatized economic development in Ohio, and I created a not-for-profit that has enough money to hire people who are actually skilled. And we look at the segments of our state like we should as a country and figure out what works. Some things work in big towns, some things work in mid-sized towns, and some things work in small towns. But if I were economic development director of Hartsville, I'd be looking around at what the assets are that we have there that makes us special, where we can draw industry in. That is, I think, the way you want to do it. And also, you want to diversify your industries. Because if you depend on one thing, and you all know the story of the textile mills that went down, if you depend on just one thing, it won't work. And then we need to have a president who's actually going to understands how business works, and also pro-job. I mean, if you don't have a job, you don't have much. And so and we can get some of these businesses to come back from overseas. We've seen it in our state. But we have to lower the corporate tax rate so businesses will come in. But small town investing is really cool. You know why? Wages are more manageable for businesses. But take advantage of the resources you have, and you better get ready to run that business, young man, okay? Thank you.
And Governor, I want you to meet, this is Eddie Rogers.